Mr. Chairman, yesterday, the front page of the Arizona Republic reported that there was a $2.5 million settlement to an individual named Steve Cooper, an Army veteran of 18 years. Steve waited for almost 2 years before seeing a doctor at the Phoenix VA. By the time he received care, his routine urology appointment had turned into a diagnosis of terminal cancer. Everyone in this room has heard a similar story. It's not acceptable. It needs to be stopped. And I want to thank every member of this committee for their dedication to our veterans and to make sure that never again there is another Steve Cooper who served his country with honor and then, because of a failure to get an appointment, is terminally ill. He wasn't alone in his need for care. In 2014, our country was shocked to learn that Steve was one of 15,000 veterans standing in line for care in Phoenix, 3,300 of whom were urology patients. This disgrace served as a catalyst for the Veterans Access, Choice, and Accountability Act that created the Veterans Choice Program, which has enabled veterans to see providers in the community for their health care needs. More than 7 million appointments with community providers for everything from diagnostic tests and urology screenings to life-saving heart and cancer treatment has been a result. There's been significant progress improving veterans' health care. We've got a long way to go to change the status quo plaguing the VA, and that's why I know none of us will abandon our effort to provide choice and flexibility in veterans' health care, and why we must continue the hard work of refining and improving the Veterans Care Choice Program. We need, as you mentioned, Mr. Chairman, reauthorize the Veterans Choice Program, which is set to expire in a few short months. If we let the program lapse, hundreds of thousands of veterans will lose their ability to visit a community provider. The VA system will once again become overwhelmed. I come from a rural state. Members of the committee come from large and small states. I don't want to have a veteran to drive for 50 miles or 40 miles by route in order to go to the VA when he can go to a local health care provider. It isn't as more complicated than that. Could I say that choice authorization expiration is approaching? I understand the VA already has begun limiting care under the Veterans Choice Program for veterans whose treatments would extend beyond August 7th, 2017. I think that lends urgency to your action. I'm concerned that veterans nationwide may encounter significant lapses in care if we don't act quickly. The outcome is not only avoidable, but it's unacceptable, and we in Congress must ask. Today I was pleased in the Senate side, where the place where the snobs reside, we took a critical step forward by joining Senate Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman Johnny Isakson, Ranking Member John Tester, Senator Jerry Moran, and others to introduce the Veterans Choice Program Improvement Act, companion to what you are doing, Mr. Chairman, you and the members of the committee. Let me be clear. No one is advocating that we privatize the VA. Many veterans are satisfied with the VA, known for providing superior specialized treatment in the areas of mental health, post-traumatic stress disorder, and traumatic brain injury. At the same time, we can't afford to go back to the pre-scandal days when a VA bureaucrat had the final say on where and when a veteran received care. Such thinking was what resulted in nearly 15,000 veterans standing in line for care in Phoenix. I know this committee agrees, as does Secretary Shulkin, and I look forward to working with all of you and my colleagues in the Senate to extend the Veterans Choice Program and continue to keep faith with our nation's veterans. My dear friends, the world is in turmoil, and I believe that we will be sending our young men and women into harm's way in a lot of places in the world for years to come. And they will be veterans, and they'll come home someday. And I believe that the work that you are doing is the Lord's work, because you are committed, as all Americans are, to giving the veterans the care that they need and deserve and they earn by defending this nation. I thank you for allowing me to appear before you. God bless.